Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first WDW with Me podcast. My name's Darren, and alongside me is
I'm Ashley, aka Mrs. WDW, with me as Darren has renamed me.
So today's podcast, we're basically just going to introduce ourselves. With it being our first one, we don't want to get into too much detail. Exactly what we do, planning wise, park wise. We just thought we'd introduce ourselves, let you know about the pages, the socials that we do, and just basically tell you all about us and why you may want to follow our pages and contact us for any help that you may need with your next Walt Disney World holiday that you might be going on. Ashley, anything you want to add to that little introduction?
Yeah, we're not experts on what we do by a long way, but we have been fortunate enough to go often that we don't. We have our own wee ways of doing things, but also if our wee ways of doing things help other people, then I think that's basically all we're here for, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a good point that Ashley brings up. We're not claiming to know it all when it comes to your Walt Disney World holiday, or what we're telling you is the right way to do things, or if you're doing it a different way, we're not saying that's wrong. We've been fortunate enough to go. We've got our own things that we do that work well for us. We're obviously a family of four, which we'll touch on in our introduction. But by no means, please take what we say as gospel. We're simply advising people on what works for us, what we've done in the past, and how we've managed to maximise our time spending in the parks. Obviously, coming from the UK, it's an 8.5, 9 hour flight to Florida and the same back. So if you're only there for 14 days, 13 nights, you obviously want to try and maximise your time in the parks and trying to do as much as you can. And that brings me on to a kind of first point. What you have to realise is on that first trip or your second, third, whatever trip you're on, you will not do it all.
We've still not done it all, and we've
No.
been multiple times. You used to work there, so
Yeah.
you've still not done it all.
We think that's one of the biggest fails that people go into this holiday with is that they think they're going to do it all and you're just going to stress yourself out. You're going to be tired, you're going to exhaust yourself, especially in the middle of summer when it's warm. Obviously, getting into the rainy season as well, when you get those showers in the afternoon, etc., that can put rides down. You have to go in with this expectation that you have to prioritise what you want to try and do. There is no way in the 2 weeks you will get everything that you want to do on an Orlando holiday, and I think that's important to get across first. Just to put that out there that we can try and help and we can try and plan your holiday as best you can, but you will not do it all.
I think that's also quite a strong point to make because people want to go and do Disney and Universal and SeaWorld and everything else all at once and expect to do it all. I mean, our last trip was just a Disney trip, solely Disney for 14 days and 15 nights. And no, 15 nights and 14 days, other way about. Um, so basically, we didn't do it all, and that was just
No.
specifically Disney.
And as Ashley touched on, we've been very fortunate enough that we do go often. We're a family that we would rather miss a year's holiday and go every second year to Disney. Save up our money and go there. We'd rather do that as a family, and it works for our kids just now. The kids are still young; they want to go, so that works for us. And even though we're fortunate enough to be able to do that and go often, there's still things that we've still to do. There's still things that we've still to see. Uh, but yeah, what we'll do is we'll go into the introductions. We'll just introduce ourselves, let you know a little bit about our backgrounds, etc., and just talk about why we do what we do and just where we try to help people. So, as I said, my name's Darren. I'm actually a former cast member with Disney. I worked in Epcot in the UK Pavilion. I was there for a year. It was the cultural representative program. One of the best years and one of the best things I've ever done with my life. Absolutely magic. Loved every minute of it. I was fortunate enough to be picked to be a trainer for Disney. So I trained the new recruits that come in as well for that year long program. Uh, I hold a lot and I owe a lot to Disney for that year. It was amazing. Taught me things I never knew. Taught me life experiences that I needed. And it will be something that I'll probably do a podcast on later down the road about the cultural representative program. And I would encourage anyone that's thinking about going and doing it to go and do it. Back home, I work in emergency services. Pretty labour intensive job. But between all of that and family life, as I say, we've got two young kids, one 8, one 10, soon to be 11, which is frightening. Uh, and it's just a normal family life. Obviously, if you follow our socials, you know the kind of torments that we've been through in the last year and a bit with Ashley's health, but I'll leave her to touch on that. So yeah, I'm just a former cast member who works to provide for his family. Fortunate enough to be able to take his family to Walt Disney World often, and fortunate enough to be in a position where I can use social platforms to try and help guide, tip people on how to do the holiday, how to go about trying to do things on the holiday, what you may want to look at when you're doing the holiday. Uh, so yeah, this is all things that we'll touch on in future podcasts. As I say, this one we just want to try and keep as an introduction to ourselves and touch on a few things, but nothing major as such. But that's enough talking from me anyway. So I'll hand you over to Ashley, and she can introduce herself and just let you know a little bit about herself.
So I did go to Disney twice as a child with my parents, and it was magical. It really was. And then when I met Darren, we actually, our first holiday abroad was to Florida together. Um, and I think that's just shown how much I still love. Not so. I say Disney, but it's. I think a Disney holiday isn't just Disney. It's your how you feel. It's the nostalgia it brings you. It's not all Mickey Mouse and singing and dancing, and yeah, that is fantastic. But it hits different a Disney holiday, and I think in the last year after being diagnosed with breast cancer, it's made me reevaluate everything in life, and it's made me think just do what's important for you. So for us, going to Disney is it's just how we spend our holidays. It's just what we want to do. So that's continuously what we're going to do. I work in education, so well when I am at work, I'm not at work at the moment. It's very, as Darren says, his job's very intensive. Mine too. Um, I do think that is part of the reason why I started up my Instagram page was because I'm off work just now, battling breast cancer. But instead of thinking about that and putting a downer on things, I'm using it as a positive to help other people. So I think getting everybody's messages, it's so lovely to be able to help people. And when they come back, it's so lovely to hear feedback. Actually, we've got a family there just now who are sending messages all the time, asking things. So it's keeping me busy. And I think that's the most important.
I think that's quite funny. Sorry, just to how Ashley says it is our families are there just now. Our families are there. That is how much it means to us. And Ashley, especially Ashley, is kind of spearheading it just now while I'm at work, etc. That, but yeah, Ashley, it's my families, my children and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
And I think that does show a level of how much it means to us to make sure that people who do contact us for planning the holiday, you know, the 60 days out booking, which we do for people upon the request, uh, how much it means to Ashley, you know, and myself, uh, for us to be able to be in a position to help with that, but also that a family puts that trust in us. And that is the biggest thing, that people are putting their trust in us on, because it could be the first time, it could be the 10th time, but they're still putting their trust in us. And I just wanted to highlight that, you know, when Ashley says our families are there just now, I think that does show just how much it means to us.
yeah. Well, actually, our friends sent us photos last night who live in Orlando, and I posted them on Facebook, I think it was. And the other family, the family that I have there just now, messaged to say, "Oh, how many families do you have here at the moment?" I said, "No, those are like our actual friends who we meet up with when we go." So even our families are saying, "Do you have any other families here?" But some people message ask for the information pack, which is fantastic. We never hear from them again because it's obviously they're using the pack and it's enough information for them. But we do get a lot of people who return and ask question after question after question, which to me is why we do what we do. And I think the people that do message back and forth a lot, they're the ones that you build up relationships with as well. And they always say, "How can we thank you? How can we thank you?" But see for us, honestly, send us your photos and videos.
Yeah.
For us, that's enough just to see what you're up to. Or some people say, "Oh, you can use this in your socials," which is incredible as well, because it doesn't just help us see how much of an amazing time you're having. It's actually helping us help other people as well and
We,
show them things that maybe we haven't done.
we had the family the other day. They'll send you the video of the first time the little one seen the parade.
Yeah,
I mean, we've been through that. We've been lucky enough to go through that with, the first time the little ones see the parade, or the first time the little one sees their favourite princess. And you do miss that when you go back.
yeah.
And I mean, the kids do still have that, oh my God, there's Ariel,
Hmm.
there's Rapunzel. But there's nothing like that first time that you see your child's face, seeing that
Yeah.
parade or seeing that princess. So to get videos like that means a lot to us. And yeah, it's amazing.
It was hearing our wee voice in the background. Oh, look, there's such and such coming in. We've touched on this before in a previous podcast we've did with Devonshire Diz with Adam. And it's, yes, as much as you've been multiple times and you stand and watch the same parade, everybody round about you is going to be different. So it's really nice to actually listen to their reactions and hear what they're saying about it. For us, that's a kind of magical part of it as well, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah, yeah. It does mean it means a lot to us. Uh, so yeah, we've kind of introduced ourselves there.
We are from the west coast of Scotland.
West Coast
If
still.
you haven't worked that out with our
Yeah,
accents,
yeah. So apologies if there is some of our localisms come out when we're talking about this.
more so you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm born and bred in the west of Scotland and Ayrshire, so I should maybe come with a translator at times, but
I'll put subtitles.
we can put subtitles somewhere. I'm not so sure about how we subtitle a podcast, but we'll figure that
We'll
out.
work it out.
So yeah, that was just a little introduction into ourselves, a little bit touching on why we do what we do and etc. But as Ashley says, there's families there just now that we've helped. There's families come home recently that we've helped. Ashley, predominantly just now, and myself have now helped over hundreds of families.
We've sent over about 700, 800 information packs to people.
Yeah,
But I would say family wise, well, we have 20 reviews on our Facebook page.
yeah,
And that we've had a lot more that haven't left reviews, which
yeah,
is fine. But people who have left reviews, that just shows the volume of people
yeah.
that we are actually helping.
Yeah, and that each and every review. I mean, we got about Facebook, we got about Instagram, etc. That each and every like and each and every comment that we get in our posts, and means the absolute world to us. We're not doing it just for, I hate to use the phrase clickbait as you would be for some people, but we genuinely do cherish every like and every comment that we get, and we do try our best to reply to every single comment that we get in any of our socials.
Also, I don't think people realise that just by liking a post actually pushes it out
Yep.
to more people. So for us to help more people and for you to help us, all you have to do is like or share or comment on our posts. That's a massive, massive thing. We are aiming to try and reach as many people as we can to help them. And what we haven't actually mentioned is we don't charge for this.
Yeah.
We do this for free. Um, just to, well, for me just now it's to take my mind off what's happening in the health side of things. But when I go back to work, yes, services may have to be reduced ever so slightly. Um, I don't work full time, so I do have days of the week
Yeah.
where I can book dining for you, do whatever it is you need to do. Actually, the other day, I had so many people asking about booking reservations. I actually made up a booking form and we've been sending that out to people.
Yeah.
And what they do, because we only take on one booking per day. Because some bookings are so hard to get, I wouldn't be comfortable doing one booking from, say, 10 o'clock to 10:30, as it is just now with the clocks being the way they are, and then logging on at 10:30 for somebody completely different, because then the person who I've logged on second for maybe doesn't have as good a chance as the first people. So if you want us to do that for you, please ask for a booking form, because the earlier you get in with that form, the more chance you've got of securing a specific date.
And we can and will do your 60-day out reservation if you're staying on property, uh, or off property.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
do
yeah,
both. So somebody actually messaged me the other day saying, what are the benefits of staying on property? And now that's going to be a completely different podcast. But just to give you an example of the amount of work that goes in from our side of things. So if you're staying on property, we can access your 60-day mark plus the first 10 days of your stay. So we can get 10 days work done in half an hour. Whereas if you're staying off site and you want us to help you, we log in every single morning for the duration of your stay, basically. So if you're there for 2 weeks, we would log in for 14 days to get the reservations that you specifically want. But I mean, we do both. It is harder if you're off site,
Yeah.
but not
It's,
impossible.
it's not it's not harder. You've just there's some reservations, and it's something that we'll touch on in our future podcast that are more difficult to get than others. There's no way around about that. Like your Topolino Terrace at Riviera, Character Breakfast is one of the most popular bookings in Walt Disney World.
Mhm.
So if you're staying on site, yes, you're going to have more chance to get that. If you're staying off site, we will still try our hardest to get it for you. There's, we're not just predominantly for on site guests, although we predominantly stay on site.
Yeah, we do.
Uh,
But we've not stayed off site for a long time
but
now.
we will help anybody and everybody. And as Ashley says, and I think it's very important because I actually had a a friend message me that I worked with in Florida all those years ago, and she hasn't been back since. And she contacted me asking me for some advice and some help. And I think she was a bit reluctant to let me fully book it for her because I think she was under the impression that we charged.
Yeah.
But we don't charge anything for this. I do this as a former cast member. I know the stress that goes into planning this holiday. I know how stressful it is when you're there. If me and Ashley can make just one day your holiday less stressful, we've kind of done what we're here to do, and we don't expect anything back from it at all, or do it for any charge, anything. We don't have any hidden motives to why we do what we do, and a lot of people find that hard to believe, but we genuinely do it just out the goodness of our
I
heart.
think it's because it shows how passionate we are about the place. And I use this as an example in the Devonshire Does podcast. So we first went to Paris last year, 2 years ago? 2 years ago. And the Studios Park, I just did not enjoy it. But I think it's because the majority of the park was closed. And I don't want people's experiences of Walt Disney World to be, I didn't enjoy that. We had a family come back in February who was a once in a lifetime trip. We're never going back. And 2 days before they returned, they said they were going to go back. The family I've got there just now have said this is definitely not their only trip, even though they very much said when I was booking all the reservations, can you book us as much as possible because we won't be back. So as much as you think you're going this once in a lifetime trip, yeah, for many it might be, but be open minded because I think once you've experienced it, you'll want to continuously experience it.
It's a once in a lifetime trip that you'll maybe do every 2 years.
Yeah.
So I think that's the best way to sum it up.
Yeah. But also, you'll see things that you haven't managed to do and you'll be like, oh, I can't wait to go back and do that. Or like when we were there in November, you did the Wild Africa trek, but the kids, one of our children were too young to do it. So when we go back, we'll all be doing that
Yeah,
as a
we'll definitely
family.
be doing it.
And that's something that maybe Darren's already, sometimes we say, well, go and do different things, but Darren tried it for him and for our friend's son. They both went and did that. And they enjoyed it so much that it is something we're going to take the kids to do, but it just means you're going to do it again. But every time you do something like that, it's going to be completely different. You're going to see different animals are going to be doing different things, and I think it's just one of these things that yes, you will go back, you will do it again. Yes, you might do things differently, or you might be like us and do our first ride's always the same first ride, or you'll have your own wee traditions, but at the same time throw in some extras.
Our first, just to touch on that, our first ride of every holiday is Tower of Terror at Hollywood Studios. It's just a family tradition for us.
Yeah, and we introduced that tradition to our friends actually,
Yeah.
and at 9 o'clock in the morning, she had to have a mimosa to pluck up the courage to go on.
Which of course is fine because you're on holiday.
I mean,
so,
of course, it's fine,
so,
but yeah, the options are there to do that.
yeah. So that's why we do what we do. We want to make sure that everybody enjoys this holiday. The amount of money that you are going to spend on this holiday is It's an outrageous amount of money,
That's another
but
thing
it's
though.
worth every penny.
It can be as expensive or it can be as reasonable as you like. Like you don't have to. You can stay on site at a value resort. You don't have to stay at a deluxe resort. You don't have to add in a dining plan as much as we love it, and it does actually end up saving us money in the long run.
Which is another future podcast
You
on the
can
dining plan.
go and just order kids meals and eat kids meals at quick service, which will cut your cost down drastically. You can order Walmart or Target or whatever and make up your sandwiches in
What's
your
it you
room for the
use?
day. Instacart.
Instacart?
So Instacart doesn't cover Walmart, but it covers Target and lots of other, like Aldi and
Publix?
things like that. Publix, lots of other shops. Walmart there seems to be a bit of an issue with Walmart regarding like deliveries and things, not accepting UK cards and things. But I would always recommend Instacart. We've never had an issue with them
No.
at all. We always activate it at the start of the holiday in the airport and then cancel it 2 days before we come back because that's your 2 week free trial and you get free delivery that entire time. But yeah, so I think we kind of covered why we do it. We've covered what we do, haven't we?
Yeah, as I say, like we can be as involved or uninvolved as you wish. I mean,
Yeah.
if you want to just drop us a message asking us one simple question or one question at a time, we can do that. As Ashley says, we've got a pack that we can send out that we can send it to you. It's got a list of our favourites or must dos that we have. There's also space on it where you can plan your 2 weeks holiday. That can be sent to you blank, and you can do that yourself. Or more often than not, what we find ourselves doing is we actually fill in those days for people.
Yeah, some people just don't know where to start. They don't know how many park days, how many rest days. For us, a rest day isn't just lying by the pool, though.
No.
For us, a rest day is a water park. Or one of our rest days, that trip there was actually Discovery Cove.
Yep.
So yes, a rest day can be lying beside the pool if that's what you want.
Yep.
But there's also another rest day for us is resort hopping. That's one of our
Yeah,
favourite
we
things to
love a
do.
resort hop.
So if you want to lie by the pool all day, then absolutely go for it. But rest days, if you want them to be a wee bit busier, then we can help you plan
Yeah.
that out as well.
Yeah, it doesn't. You don't have to be in the parks your entire time you're there, and we wouldn't recommend that to start with because, uh, you know, you're going to be exhausted, especially with little ones. The stress levels, the anxiety levels are going to get through the roof, and there will be meltdowns. Parents and kids, adults, you name it, there will be meltdowns if you try and do that. So we like to try and work in a structure of 2 days on and then a rest day. So
But also, what I think it's important to get across is your plans will
yes,
probably change.
yes, that's one thing about planning a bit of Florida holiday is your plans will most likely change.
Someone said to me the other day, actually, and I reached out to a few followers this morning just to say, what do you wish you'd known, or what do you want to know before you go? And someone had said about the specific way to plan each park and then do your dining reservations, but we do it the other way. We don't actually plan days as such at parks until we have those reservations secured, just because some of them are so hard to get. So people think that they need to plan like an Animal Kingdom day, then a Magic Kingdom day, then a rest day, then this. So they'll then try and get their Animal Kingdom reservation on their Animal Kingdom day. But sometimes that doesn't work out that way. So it's just about being mindful that things may change. And another thing that I think we need to mention is how long it takes to get from A to B
yeah,
in Disney.
yeah. I mean, some of the transport options are quicker than others. For example, the Skyliner from a few of the resorts to Epcot and Hollywood Studios is
Relatively quick.
relatively quick. Buses can take that bit longer in between parks, and your monorails can take a little bit longer as well because they are a little bit prone to stopping and starting,
I
etc.
think the main thing to remember is always plan an hour to
Yeah,
get from A to B. Although we stayed in Pop Century, which is 2 Skyliner stops away from the Riviera, and it took us an hour and 10 minutes to
yeah,
get there, which normally takes 15 max.
yeah. It's about 7 minutes one way and six the other way.
So I mean that did take us a long time, but that was stopping and starting that. But that was due to maintenance happening
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Skyliner.
It
So
was due to happen just after we'd been there, and you could tell that it was needing it. That's one of the first holidays where we've had not issues with the
no,
Skyliner, but it wasn't running as efficiently as it normally does. But transport options and stuff like that, we will touch on and stuff like that further down the line as well.
There is a huge transport section actually in our packs, how
Yeah,
to get from A to B.
yeah,
That is like on resort though. That's not like including like Ubers and Lyfts and whatever
yeah,
if you're
yeah.
off site.
Which we can off-site guests who are trying to get from A to B and that we can advise. We've not done it in a long time.
Mm.
Uh,
We
I
have
mean,
used lifts
yeah, I
the
mean,
last trip.
I have done every version of the Orlando holiday that you can think of.
Yeah.
I've done the international drive stay. I've done the villa. I've done the on site. So as much as I've not done off site for a long, long time, we can still advise on a few things. Obviously, international drives changed drastically since the last time I stayed
Yeah.
at it. So we would kind of like maybe have to do our own research into that to try and advise people. We wouldn't want to advise anybody with information that's not right. That's why at this minute in time we don't offer any assistance or guidance with Universal Studios because we just haven't been in long enough. The kids just
No.
aren't big enough to go to
And
Universal
I
Studios.
think that's something that needs to be touched on. People say, oh, we need to do Disney and we need to do Universal, but look up the Universal height restrictions
Yeah,
first because they are that bit higher than the Disney ones.
yeah,
So your kids will get on a lot more in Disney than they will in Universal. I mean, I think the last time we went, the only section our kids could ride anything in was Zeus Landing, and
yeah,
that was in Islands of Adventure.
yeah, yeah.
Um, but
And our kids aren't short by any means. I
no, they're
mean,
not. They're not small at all. So I think it's just make up your own mind.
yeah,
If you really want to go and see Harry Potter, you really want to do that, just absolutely go. But if your kids are, say, I don't know, below, I'd say 7 or 8, I would maybe double check if it's
yeah,
definitely for you. YouTube is a brilliant, brilliant tool. So use it to watch ride videos to see. And actually, another thing I've been asked is about motion sickness on some rides and what rides you would say. So I think that's maybe something for YouTube as well to watch to see if you think you'd be motion sick on it because the last thing you want to do is go on a ride first thing in the morning,
yeah.
feel sick, and then that's you for the rest of the day. So definitely YouTube a lot.
Manta at SeaWorld is one of those that I would, if you are planning a SeaWorld trip, the way that Manta operates and you're lying down and stuff like that, motion sickness is higher in
Mm-hmm.
that one than most others. So there's a little tip for
Because you're
SeaWorld.
even lying on your tummy on
Yeah.
that one, aren't you?
Uh, but yeah, uh, so we have done all different Disney holidays and Orlando holidays and stuff like that. So we can advise, and as we stressed at the beginning, by no means are we claiming to be experts and know all. But
But I think we have enough experience to advise.
we've got the experience, and that's simply it. We advise people. We don't tell people how to do a holiday. We advise people on what we would do, when we would do it, what we'd be looking to do. People come to Ashley and myself and are like, "Oh, this is what we're going. We've got this child. We've got this child. This is what we want to see. This is what we want to see," and we can build like a near enough full itinerary from there.
Well, somebody actually messaged me the other day after being, I think it was their 8th time, and they're going again this year. And they sent me the itinerary just to say, listen, I know you kind of know what you're talking about. Can you look over this? And I said, listen, do you mind if I tweak a few things? Obviously, you don't have to go with it, but if I tweak it, have a look over it and see what you think. So I did. I actually tweaked the entire 2 weeks, completely redid it, and sent it back to them. They're like, I have never thought about this. Thank you so much. And I think even if you have been before, and you want someone else to look over it, then yeah, we can do that because I think sometimes seeing it from a different perspective or a different point of view is always helpful when it comes to planning things. Yeah,
But it's like, well, I was going to say there, it's simple things like knowing that you can get from Magic Kingdom to Epcot and Epcot to Magic Kingdom easily.
but
But
first timers don't
but
know
first,
that.
but people that are going the first time and people that have been there might not even realise that. Or if you're going to Epcot, the easiest thing to do to Hollywood Studios is jump in the Skyliner, or you've got the companion boats that
Yeah.
take you. Uh,
Another thing though, I think people say is, "Oh, I only want to do Disney for 4 days, so where am I best to buy my tickets?" Well, the 14-day ticket is still probably
Cheaper.
cheaper than, I mean, for example, paying on the door $199 for Magic Kingdom in
Each.
November each person when we were there, and that
Yeah.
doesn't include your memory maker, which is your
No.
photo pass. It doesn't include your park hopper
No.
tickets. And park hopper, yes, we park hop a lot, but that's because we go to parks for specific
Yeah.
things. Whereas I think if it's your first time, I wouldn't really advise park
Well,
hopping
you're
because
just
it takes so long to get from A to B.
spend as much time in the one park as you can, and then you'll get to the stage once you've been in that holiday of a lifetime, and for the fourth or fifth
Hmm.
time, you'll know these little things. But yeah, we don't realise how lucky we are in the UK for the Disney ticket that we get offered through Disney, the 14-day magic ticket. For the price of that, I think it's now sitting at what, £560 an adult.
It can. I think it's varying between 459 and 600 and something.
Yeah,
So obviously it's date
yeah,
specific. So busier times will be more
yeah.
expensive.
But when you think about that, that's, let's just go for a ballpark figure of £600 each.
Yep,
As Ashley's just touched on, it was $199 each
for Magic Kingdom.
adult, and I think it was $179 for the kids. I think it was
Hmm.
only twenty
Yeah,
twenty
it's
dollars
only
a
20,
difference.
something like that. Yeah,
So, for example, $199, you're looking at what, about £160. So there's 320 on the two adults alone, and your 179 will be about 150. So there's 300. So there's £620 essentially
for one
to get into
day.
Magic Kingdom for one day. There's enough said. Even if you're planning on only spending 4, 5, 6 days at Disney, you're still with that 14-day ticket.
We will do a big section
Yeah,
on this because I think it's important to specify how long these tickets
yeah,
actually
yeah,
cover you for,
yeah,
and what you get out of the 14-day ticket. Um, but that's obviously that this podcast could be about 3 hours long if we were
yeah,
to
yeah,
discuss that
yeah.
right now.
No, but we just wanted to come on this one and introduce ourselves, and essentially say why we do what we do and how we do what we do. And how we do what we do is basically through social media.
And I think what we need to do now is actually, if we're speaking about ourselves, what's your favourite park?
My favourite
Hmm.
park, Epcot, but
I've
that's
just thrown this in here. You didn't know that
uh,
this was coming.
Epcot because that's where I worked. I spent a year of my life working in Epcot.
Favourite ride?
Favourite ride,
Yep.
Haunted Mansion, just because of the nostalgia.
Favourite snack?
I'm a premium ice cream bar every day of the week.
Favourite nighttime show?
Nighttime show,
Hmm.
there's no debating that one. It's fantastic.
True. Favourite mode of transport?
I still love the Skyliner as much as we say in November we had issues with it stopping and starting. It needed its maintenance. It's had its maintenance. It happened in January of this year. It should be back to running full strength.
Favourite resort?
Favorite resort, Pop Century. It's where we've stayed the most as a
Yep.
family. It's where I've got the most memories. We did obviously spend that one night in Grand Floridian when we spoiled ourselves.
See, that's the thing. I love Art of Animation as well, but for the price difference, I think you're better staying in Pop and
Yeah,
just using the Art of Animation food court or
yeah,
wandering around it. I don't think you specifically need a Little Mermaid
yeah,
picture on the wall that's worth an extra, or what was it, about $300.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I think so. I
Yeah,
think.
thanks for putting me in the spot there. That will be returned in the next one. So
I think, as I said earlier about reaching out to different people to see what they wish they knew. So I'm going to run down just a list of things that we will be covering in the next few podcasts. And these are just our opinions. This isn't factual. This isn't something that you need to do. But this morning, the followers had said, so what is the best way to get, now this was the most popular, what is the best way to get a Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique reservation? Now, these things are giving me stress trying to get these for some people.
I can't comment enough when people ask for a Bibbidi Bobbidi boutique reservation how much time Ashley and myself, but predominantly just now Ashley will spend hours refreshing the page and efforts to get
Mainly for off-site guests, yeah.
the guests Bibbidi Bobbidi boutique reservations. Like, I need to stress that she does literally spend hours doing it. And in fairness to her, she's probably got about a 98% hit rate.
No, I'm sitting at 100 right now because I got two the other night.
Oh, did you get them?
I got them
Yep.
both.
So, yep, 100% strike rate for guests that have asked us to
Yeah,
get
I
Bibbidi
mean,
Bobbidi.
one of them I'm not happy with the timing, and that's the thing. I won't stop there. I will keep going
Yep.
nearer the time to try and get an earlier
But again,
reservation.
that's based on what we do. For example, for us, our kids have been fortunate enough to do the Bibbidi Bobbidi Boutique, and we thought, right, if we get them first thing, in the morning. They've got the full day wandering about the park,
which is
dressed
a
up.
bad move.
It's not a bad move.
They're fed up by their dress at 10 a.m.
You're basically getting your money's worth for the entire day, because as soon as you get them home, they want to get in the pool, etc. That the hair's ruined, everything's ruined. But also on the back of that, and it is something we'll touch on when we do the podcast. Bibbidi Bobbidi will probably get a podcast of its own at some point.
Yeah.
The reaction from the cast members to your little ones that have had the Bibbidi Bobbidi, they genuinely do make them feel like a princess. And it's actually one of the things that you get trained on, and I get trained on when we done it, was that you need to make a big deal of the kids that have had this done. And it was specifically mentioned in the training, Bibbidi Bobbidi. You see a little boy or a little girl, because it's not just for girls. That's what we have to stress as well. There is a Bibbidi Bobbidi boutique for little boys. They will be made the biggest deal of the entire day. So that's where Ashley's saying that she's not happy with the time that we've got, because, anything after midday we're generally not happy with.
Yeah, but I mean, if that's all you can get, that's all you can get.
Yeah.
It's still absolutely
They're like gold
magical.
dust.
But I'd be happier getting this a little bit earlier. So another few questions are benefits of on-site hotels or your pre-booking perks. So that will be covered in a next podcast. Dining plan, we get asked this all the time.
Yeah.
Is it worth it? So that will be definitely covered. That actually might be a podcast on its own.
Oh, that might be multiple podcasts.
I think in April is when the UK offers for the free Disney dining come out, and we did a big video on this last year. Actually, in fact, you did it. This was before I was kind of heavily involved, and we'll be explaining the ins and outs of the new offer that's coming out. We don't actually know what it'll be, but we think it will be similar to last time. Which water park is best is another one that we get asked a lot, and 9 times out of 10 that specifically is whatever one's open.
Just to touch back on the dining plan, sorry, there is nothing more decisive between Disney goers than that question of, is the dining plan worth it? Mm-hmm. That will divide Disney goers 50-50 down the middle, and we will explain why we will never do a Disney holiday without the dining plan.
But we've worked out ways to maximise it though, and I think if you were to go and just get soft drinks with every meal, it would not be worth it for you. No. But yet again, we'll talk about how.
But we're not saying that you have to go and get drunk every meal.
No, we're not saying that. But if you were to get alcohol at breakfast, say in a can, and put it in your fridge for later on, then that's a way to maximise your spends. So also another question was the best way to meet certain characters without dining reservations. We'll touch on all that. We'll touch on locations for this. Obviously, these locations are set to change. If Disney decides that they're not putting a character out that day, they won't put a character out that day. Sometimes you're shocked and they appear in the hotel lobby. But that really just, it's potluck.
It's called the Disney cast members, and it's called Magic Moments.
Yes, it's Magic Moments. But for you as a person, if you're there, it's your lucky day if you see something that's maybe a rare character or something that you weren't expecting. Another one is walk to park in a pack bag. We actually have a post on this, but I think doing a wee chat on first timers and what you probably will need in your park bag's beneficial. How many days do I really need to do the parks? How long is a piece of string? But that'll be another podcast. Best time of year to go. So we've been at all times of year. Well, you lived there for a year, but for us there's only one answer, but you'll need to come back and listen for that. And the biggest mistakes that first timers make, and I think we've both got similar answers to that, but that'll be on the next one.
Need to tune in and hear the answers to all those questions and more for future podcasts.
If you've got any questions you want answered as well, feel free to message and we'll do our best to answer them, whether that's over a message or whether that's on a podcast.
We're completely open to our followers. If there's a podcast that you want us to specifically do, we can do it. There's not many topics in Disney that we can't spend 20-30 minutes speaking on.
If not more.
If not more, as this podcast alone's showing. But yeah, as I say, we've just wanted to get our first one done, get it out there for ease, and also just, introducing ourselves, what we do, why we do, and basically where we're going with our podcasts after this. As I've touched on, we are very active in social media. Ashley more so than I am.
Yeah.
What some people might find is that if they message me, I might be at work and I might pass their message on to Ashley, who'll get back to them as soon as she
Or you
can.
might not even get it until you finish.
Yeah, yeah,
So don't you probably will get a reply pretty much straight
yeah,
away from me because I've got every notification
yeah,
turned on, specifically because when we have people over there, like I said earlier, they're they're messaging you a
yeah.
question because of where they are and they need to get from A to B or they need to
Yeah.
get. So that's pretty much why I do respond instantly is because
As we had with one of the families we had over there, she messaged me completely forgetting about the time
yeah,
difference, about transport options and stuff like that. And I the next morning was fully apologetic that I hadn't got the message and I hadn't replied to it. But Florida's 5 hours behind us, and
yeah,
this was at 1 in the morning, I think it was, and I was sound asleep. I'm out from my work at just before 5 o'clock every morning. Uh, So yeah, if you don't get a message back from us straight away,
message me, I'll
please
reply.
just bear with us. Ashley is very active. She is very rapid with her replies. As I say, I'm a full time emergency service worker, so my day can be pretty hectic. But please bear with us. We will respond to every message that we get.
Yeah, we are on Instagram, we're on TikTok, we're on YouTube, we're on Facebook.
Yeah,
We're on this Lemonade now, which I'm trying to work out. Can't work
I've
that out.
never even heard of that.
Can't work that out, but we're getting
So
there.
on Instagram, it's wdw understroke with understroke me.
Same as Facebook,
Facebook, and also
YouTube.
YouTube and TikTok.
Yep.
Yep.
And mine is Mrs. Is it Amara underscore as
Yeah,
well?
your underscore. Yep.
Yeah,
Mrs.
Darren set
underscore.
that up.
Yeah. So yeah, reach out to us where you can. Please do reach out to us, even if you're going your first time or you're going your 100th time, and you've got a question for us. Please just reach out to us. And as Ashley's already touched on, if you've got anything in specific that you want us to comment on or do a podcast on, let us know. We're happy to do that as well. But yeah, we're just trying to get this first one out, and we're trying to keep the podcast going as much as we can. Obviously, with the interest in it, if it's there, we'll keep them going. We'll keep them going often. Uh, but yeah, we'll see how this goes, and hopefully tune in for a lot more podcasts.
Yeah.
And thank you for listening. And if you got this far,
Yeah. It's been a
yeah,
long, 42 minutes?
yeah, probably could have doubled it and keep
Easily.
going. But
Yeah.
yeah, thank you very much for listening along. And as I say, I'm Darren, Mr. WDW with me.
And I'm Ashley, and thank you for listening.
Yep, thank you.